Today's deck tech is all about the keys to success. Get it? Because you're not leaving your opponent's room to breathe. And once you've walked through the foyer to victory, be sure to lock the door behind you. That's right, it's a deck all about rooms, baby, being led by none other than the 5-color Lady of the Manor, Marina Vendrell. Marina Vendrell is a 5-mana Rooberg 3/5 legendary creature human warlock that says, when Marina Vendrell enters, reveal the top 7 cards of your library, put all enchantment cards from among them into your hand, and the rest onto the bottom of your library in a random order, and tap. Lock or unlock a door of target room you control. Activate only as a sorcery. This deck strategy is a fun one and can be very powerful if you go all in on the enchantment side of it, but I chose a different focus, choosing instead to focus on locking and unlocking rooms. While this does make the deck a little slower and Marina's ability to look 7 cards deep might not always net the most value, the deck has been consistently fun while test playing. Well, before we read the rooms, we need to go over the creatures. Our creatures fall into a couple categories: untappers, enchantress, mana dorks, payoffs. For untappers, we have Teardrop Kami, Beacon Hawk, Seeker of Skybreak, Dauntless Aven, Iorith of the Healing House, and Vigian Graph Mage. All help us keep things untapping. Our mana dorks help get the 5 mana we need to cast our commander. They also work well with our untappers: Llanowar Loam Speaker, Ornithopter of Paradise, and Twitching Doll. Our enchantresses draw us cards, but I'm also going to include the discount spells. Elvish Archivist might only be once per turn, but a card is still a card. Inquisitive Glimmer, Jukai Naturalist, Mesa Enchantress, Satyr Enchanter, and Eidolon of Blossoms will have us drawing so many cards, it's ridiculous. Lastly, our payoffs are the creatures that gain us benefits for playing our enchantments or locking and unlocking rooms. Baelmerk Leech drains our opponents as we play enchantments and walk through doors. Gremlin Tamer for tokens. Victor Valgavoth's Sentinel for card selection, discard, and reanimation. Archon of Sun's Grace. Yenna Redtooth Regent copies our rooms. Ghostly Dancers for even more tokens, and I had nowhere else for them, so Greater Tanuki can get us a land and be grabbed off Marina's ability, and Colossal Sky Turtle, which can also be grabbed with Marina's ability, gives us a modal option of either bouncing something or getting a permanent back from the graveyard to our hand. I'm going to include instants with our sorceries because combined there will only be 5. 3 ramp spells, Croaking Counterpart, and Bring to Light. For artifacts, they're all mana rocks: Wayfarer's Bauble, Arcane Signet, Commander's Sphere, Darksteel Ingot, Decanter of Endless Water, and Haunted Screen.
They're here.
There is one Planeswalker in Gideon Marshall Paragon to get multiple untaps with our commander, unlocking and locking our rooms, and of course, he can act as a finisher sometimes if you get to activate his -10 ability. Now, onto the enchantments, the biggest chunk of the deck with good reason. While rooms are indeed the focus of the deck, there are a lot of areas you could make concessions for some suboptimal cards, and because they are enchantments, our commander will hit them off of their ability. We're going to go over everything else first and save the rooms for last. Font of Fertility, Fertile Ground, Ghostly Touch allows us to untap or tap on attack, Ordeal of Nylea, Copy Enchantment to copy our best thing, Curse of Inertia for more untap, Enchantress Presence, Grasp of Fate, Retreat to Coralheim, premium untapping, and The Apprentice's Folly. If you can find a way to bounce this before the final chapter or destroy it, that's 2 copies of your commander you get to keep. But even if you let that saga go all the way, by the time that happens, you've probably gotten your mana's worth. For rooms, Cadaver Lab / Defiled Crypt. This card works great with Teardrop Kami. Grand Entryway / Elegant Rotunda helps trigger your Eerie and other cards that care about enchantments as well as gives counters. Painter's Studio / Defaced Gallery. The boost to attackers is nice, but the exile to pay is really good. Underwater Tunnel / Slimy Auditorium. No one should turn down some card selection, and even if you whiff the manifest for a creature, you can still turn something else into a threat. Bottomless Pool / Locker Room. This helps keep the board in your favor by bouncing any annoying creatures that get in your way. And Locker Room acts as a Coastal Piracy-esque card. Surgical Suite / Hospital Room. Again, another card that works great with Teardrop Kami, as well as a couple others in the deck. Central Elevator / Promising Stairs. Search for a room and a win con. Yes, please. Derelict Attic / Widow's Walk. Sign in Blood, The Room, and Agent of Shadow Thieves, essentially. Experimental Lab / Staff Room. Manifest something or grow something with counters. Greenhouse Rickety Gazebo. One of the best rooms in the deck, being able to tap your lands for any mana and then get stuff out of the graveyard. Roaring Furnace / Steaming Sauna helps you control the board, and the sauna helps keep your hand nice and full. Smoky Lounge / Misty Salon can churn out tokens once the deck starts working. Glassworks / Shattered Yard for more removal, and then it continues to damage our opponents over time. Meat Locker / Drowned Diner is pseudo removal because you can tap down the creature and then you can manifest into something. Moldering Gym / Weight Room, basically rampant growth and another way to manifest. Ticket Booth / Tunnel of Hate, another way to manifest, running theme here, huh? And a way to up the damage by giving double strike. Cramped Vent / Access Tunnel, deal damage to gain life, and then spend that life to save some mana. And lastly, Restricted Office / Lecture Hall, a board wipe and a way to give all permanents hexproof. As for lands, Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Celestia, and Simic Guildgate, 4 swamps, 5 islands, 6 mountains, 8 plains, and 9 forests. There are no infinite combos, so no need to worry about accidentally comboing off, just lots of value. The deck currently clocks in at just under $16, making it a perfect pickup for trying something new in Wooburg. If you like the deck and want to upgrade, the rooms are going to be the go-to. Secret Arcade / Dusty Parlor turns on your infinite combos with your token makers. Essentially, by making each non-land permanent an enchantment, each time you trigger one of your Eerie effects to make a token, that token is also an enchantment, which will again trigger your Eerie or Constellation effects, and you see where this is going. Charred Foyer and Warp Space exile cards and then let you cast one of them from exile for free once per turn. Dazzling Theater / Prop Room work pretty well together, mostly just the prop room though. Dollmaker's Shop and Porcelain Gallery make tokens, then make the tokens game enders. Funeral Room / Awakening Hall are a Zulaport Cutthroat and Rise of the Dark Realms on a card. Mirror Room / Fractured Realm, this deck would absolutely go crazy with being able to copy certain things and triggers happening twice. Polluted Cistern / Dim Oubliette combo with the rest of the deck about putting things into graveyards then getting them back out. Spiked Corridor / Torture Pit turn little damage into slightly bigger damage, but that can easily add up over time. Unholy Annex / Ritual Chamber really helps squeeze value out of your opponents as well as make 6/6 demon tokens. And lastly, Walk-in Closet / Forgotten Cellar. Let you play lands out of the graveyard as well as cast spells from the graveyard the turn Forgotten Cellar is unlocked. Slicing into cards to cut. Ghostly Touch is good, but in comparison to the other rooms we could have, I'd cut it. Curse of Inertia. While I do enjoy untapping my stuff, I like it less when my opponents can also do it. I'd cut it. Experimental Lab / Staff Room. Manifesting is cool, as is the counter for combat damage, but I think if you upgrade the deck, you kind of move away from combat damage a little, making this slightly less effective. And Ticket Booth / Tunnel of Hate is alright, but again, I don't know how much giving some stuff double strike with no way to pump them to a real threat is good. I'd rather have any of the other rooms listed in the upgrades. Well, that's the deck with some upgrades and cards to cut. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe as it goes a long way to supporting the channel, and I appreciate it greatly. Comment a commander you would like to see built on a budget or your favorite card from the deck. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.